everyone, it's Leandra here at the Kentucky facility for New Vocations Racehorse Adoption Program, and today I wanted to do a little bit of an inside dig at Everyone Knows It's Cindy here, who you can see on our website. Her profile is listed under the tab that says horses. If you go to newvocations.org, Everyone Knows It's Cindy is a 2015 mare. She's around 16 hands and she's about double wide of her height, so she takes up a lot of leg. For reference, I'm 5'7" and she is taking up plenty of my leg. You can tell that she is a pretty relaxed type, as I can operate with basically no reins, and she is a real sweetheart. I think the one fly left living at this point has found her, so if you see her stopping, that's probably what it is. But she's a really, really relaxed personality, and she has been a really great citizen around the barn, really easy in turnout for the most part, and she is unraced. So she has been settling in here really well. She was with us once before and came back because she wasn't the best fit for the family where she was, but they absolutely adored her. So it just sometimes happens like that, but she's back with us now. She is a really cool personality because, like I said, she's just relaxed like this, but then she's just kind of very go with the flow. But one thing I wanted to show you guys today, so we'll kind of combine it in a trainer tip fashion, is that we've noticed that she tends to lean on especially the left side of the bit. So number one thing is always assume that there's a reason for behavioral issues. So in this case, the first thing we're going to do is check her teeth and make sure there are no sharp points or any obstructions or anything that could be causing her to lean because she's uncomfortable. So I think sometimes people by default will assume it's a behavioral issue that needs to be corrected, but sometimes that correction is as simple as getting their teeth done or adjusting the bit or the noseband or something that is explainable simply, and we can give the horses the benefit of the doubt that they're just reacting, which is natural, and that they're trying to avoid pain. But something that we can do, and not to really agitate that if that is the cause, is to work on transitions. And we're going to give her some grace, because if she is having discomfort, then there's no point in trying to just fix it as just behavioral. But a lot of people ask about the headset of the horse and trying to get them in the right sort of frame. But I like to think of that as sort of the last thing that we think of anyway. So when you're talking about proper collection and having a horse on the bit, then we really want the energy to be coming from behind and being pushed up into our hand, at which point there is a suppleness.
And we're back.
All right, we're back. So one of the things that you can do even from the ground that's really simple is just working on that give. So I'm going to start with as little pressure as possible, and if you're just on the ground and you have a halter and lead rope, that's perfect too, but you could apply a little pressure. I like to consider it like squeezing a sponge. So imagine the rein is their sponge and you're just squeezing it. It's not a tugging action, it's a on and off, so there's nothing for them to feel like they need to brace against. Slow, easy pressure, starting with as little as possible, and you see she even just had sort of a head bob. It doesn't have to be an extended release, but even the thought of giving is perfect. That's what we're looking for. So again, I'm just going to apply a little bit of pressure, squeeze evenly on both sides like I would a sponge, and see if we can get her even like that, even backing up exactly what we want. So you can build on that. You can do that on the ground, you can do that on your horse. And ideally, we want to get to a point, they might just give a little bit with that head bob at first, and then they might just go to backing up. That's what we want to work towards, that we can have as little pressure as possible and get them to have a backup. And it can be just a step like that, and that's perfect. We can release, we can walk forward, and we can try it again. And that's how we can build on that, not just continuing to ask them for the same thing, in which case we might aggravate them. So you want to go for just the simple steps, the little baby steps that are going to build up towards the bigger things. So in this case, Cindy's doing a really good job getting that step down. So then we might move to moving her off and then trying it again. So she's doing a little bit of that bit chasing. She's chomping on it a bit. And so I might just wiggle this rein, and just so that I can see the corner of her eye. And then I might do the same thing going the other way. And and that being just to get her mind off of it, sort of like a reset button, because then we can properly evaluate instead of her getting fixated on that one thing, in which case that might bother her. She could get agitated from it, and then we're not making progress. If they're bracing, they're not giving to you, so you want to avoid any situation where they could be bracing. Well, that was the fly that she's going for, so we can be a little bit tolerant of those sort of things when we know that she's, again, we're giving her the benefit of the doubt, something else is bothering her, so we just continue on. And so we can continue to work on that. And when you develop that and you can get comfortable doing that and you're getting a good consistent release, even if it's a little bit, then we can work towards things like trotting and then asking for those in transitions. Same sort of thing. So let's try that. Let her move off from that, but you can tell she starts with a more inverted headset, and all I'm doing is just keeping my hand steady, doing a little maybe squeeze and release to just see that we still have contact, but I'm really just focusing on keeping my hands quiet and having a consistent pressure, moving her forward into it so that when she gives, I can also give. We want to make the right thing easy, which in this case is the release. When she's working with me, when she's giving, she's being supple, and we have that going between us. And then making the wrong thing hard. So the wrong thing would be pulling against my hand, in which case she has the resistance because I'm keeping my hand set just steady and quiet. And then pushing that energy up from behind, using my legs to just continue to push that into the hand and ask her for that give, so then when it happens, she has a nice release. And in that sort of way, we're working together. She's understanding the ask, and we can build on that really gradually. So try that as you can, and then a horse like her is going to come around pretty consistently. We have really good success with those sort of steps, so hopefully you will too. Thank you so much for joining today on this little Trainer Tip Tuesday, but also check out Cindy's profile if you missed it. This is Everyone Knows It's Cindy, so go to newvocations.org. You can check out her profile, and if you're interested, then give us a ring. Thanks for joining, guys.